distinguished guests, faculty, my friends, and my fellow classmates. We are gathered today to honor the lives lost in the wake of the September 11th tragedy. We remember the senseless deaths of the victims in the Twin Towers and the Pentagon, the passengers and heroes of Flights 11, 93, 175, 77, and the military and first responders, all those men, women, sons, and daughters who lost their lives because of a terrible, terrible act of violence and the ensuing war on terrorism. Why did terrorists attack our nation? What was their motivation? True understanding comes from judging not merely the act, but the motivation for the act. In all ways, the terrorist acts of 9/11 were motivated by absolute evil, a desire to inflict destruction on innocent people. As a result of those attacks, I was deployed to Forward Operating Base Warhorse at Bakiba in the Diyala province of Iraq with the 324th Signal Battalion to support the 3rd Brigade Special Troops Battalion, 1st Infantry Division from Fort Hood, Texas in 2006 and 2007. I made new friends, and some of those I can never make again. Being a peace lover, I sometimes wondered why I was in an army uniform, wielding a deadly weapon. But there I was, far from home, confronting a deathly stare in my enemy's eyes, grown from a seed of hatred and discrimination, learned in a school of fear and intimidation, not knowledge. Where does that come from? Why is there such terrible violence and a lack of understanding? I was prepared and willing to fight, kill, and die for my country, yet my choice as a human being with a heart and soul is not hatred, not violence, not war, but a respect for human life and freedom, a tolerance for differences, and a desire to promote life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The attacks against us were senseless, man acting out his basest desires to destroy. But our response to those attacks was necessary. Where there is evil in the world, we as Americans should make every attempt to eliminate it. At times, a purposeful decision to stand up to evil is required, and the United States has done that. And here we stand, united, strong, and free, because of the fiery blood of true patriots, those sainted defenders of freedom and life that was shed far from their homes and families. I am proud that my country values education, respect, and diversity more than destruction itself, and I would choose to take up arms again to protect those values and my fellow citizens who live by those values. Yet my sincerest hope is that we as Americans continue to spread our values of knowledge and respect, which can eradicate more evil than any bombs, guns, or armies can ever destroy. Theodore Roosevelt got it. He said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." Speaking softly is our foremost responsibility, to use discourse, negotiation, diplomacy, to quell the forces of evil and abuse wherever we have the opportunity. It is always more important to use our words, our minds, our sense of reason, tolerance, and passion to address any issue rather than resort to rage, anger, and fear. Unfortunately, we must carry that big stick because we do live in a world where people continue to plot senseless evil acts against innocent people. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Peace cannot be achieved through violence. It can only be attained through understanding." As we pause today to remember, my hope is that more people across the world will speak softly, that we will share and embrace the values of peace, of learning, of respect for others, and that those who would sow and nurture seeds of hatred and violence will forever tremble, pathetic and impotent, when exposed to the light of our love, our peace, our understanding, and our tolerance for all people of all nations. Thank you. Please join me in welcoming the president of the U.S. Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island, and father to our very own sophomore Grace Christensen, Rear Admiral John Christensen.
Evening, everybody.